Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's called Rita Wilson Duets. Now and forever.
In Hollywood, where every moment is a headline, finding lasting love might seem like a rare script. But some stars have found their forever co-stars, proving true love isn't just for the movies. These are the couples who've navigated the highs and lows of fame, proving that even in the most unpredictable of industries, love can and does flourish. Let's find out who made it to the list.
I would not be alive without Pauletta Washington. I wouldn't be alive.
Number 20, Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are pretty much Hollywood's power couple, clocking in an impressive 36 years together. They first crossed paths on the set of the sitcom Bosom Buddies, Tom being a regular and Rita popping in for a guest appearance. The spark was there from the get-go, even though Tom was still married to his college love at the time. Despite the initial sparks, Tom, being the stand-up guy he is, tried to stick it out in his first marriage, especially since he had 2 kids with his then-wife Samantha. However, when Tom and Rita bumped into each other again on the set of Volunteers in 1985, it was clear those sparks hadn't died down. Tom couldn't shake off his feelings for Rita. By 1987, after parting ways with his first wife, Tom and Rita, known for movies like Sleepless in Seattle and Runaway Bride, decided it was time to go public. They got married a year later and have since built a family with 2 kids of their own. Their journey together has been one for the books, surviving challenges like Rita's breast cancer battle in 2015, and both of them going toe-to-toe with coronavirus in March of 2020. Number 19, Pauletta Pearson and Denzel Washington. Denzel and Pauletta Washington first crossed paths on a movie set back in 1977. But it wasn't until they bumped into each other again at a party a few months later that they really started to hit it off. The path to engagement was a bit of a saga. Denzel remembers proposing twice, but Pauletta insists it was 3 times. Either way, they made it official and tied the knot in June of 1983, and fast forward to 2023, they've been going strong for 41 years. Pauletta stepped back from her own career in showbiz to focus on raising their 4 kids, who seem to be dipping their toes in the family business. When Denzel picked up the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award in 2019, he didn't miss the chance to shout out his wife for being such a cornerstone in both his career and life. "I would not be alive without Pauletta Washington," he declared. Number 18, Victoria Beckham and David Beckham. So, what goes down when a Spice Girl and a soccer superstar fall for each other? You get one of the cheekest and most legendary couples around. David and Victoria Beckham have been absolute couple goals since they began dating back in 1997. Victoria spilled the beans that it was instant spark for both of them when they first locked eyes in the Manchester United Players Lounge, a story she shared with British Vogue in 2016. Since their meet cute at a soccer match in 1997, the Beckhams have been inseparable. They were so into each other that they decided to tie the knot just 2 years after meeting. Fast forward to 2017, and the Lovebirds felt it was time to say "I do" all over again. 18 years into their marriage, David and Victoria opted for a low-key vow renewal in their London home, a sweet detail David later dished about on a radio show. With a solid 25 years of marriage, 4 kids, and countless moments of style envy under their belts, this pair is basically royalty in the celebrity world. For their 20th anniversary, they even snagged a private tour of the opulent Les Châteaux de Versailles in France, where they celebrated in style, just like the royals that once lived there. Number 17, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill totally embody hashtag couple goals for anyone who's into country music, and even those who aren't. This power couple has been going strong for over 28 years. They first bumped into each other at a Nashville show back in 1994, though both were involved with other people at the time. Their story took a romantic turn in 1996 on McGraw's Spontaneous Combustion Tour, and by the end of that year, they were hitched. They pretty much invented the surprise celebrity wedding, Guests thought they were just heading to a softball game and concert in McGraw's hometown of Rayville, Louisiana. Instead, they found themselves at the couple's wedding ceremony under an oak tree. Faith Hill looking stunning in a simple yet chic white dress and going barefoot, very 90s with her gloves and a pearl necklace. And 3 months pregnant was a vision. Tim McGraw kept it casual with jeans and a black coat. Fast forward to today, they're the proud parents of 3 daughters, and they're even collaborating musically, bringing us hits like The Rest of Our Lives. Number 16. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. You might think after almost 2 decades, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi would be a bit tired of each other, but it's quite the opposite. They're as happy as ever. When Portia first saw Ellen back in 2001, she was hit by a bolt of love at first sight. They made things official in 2008, right after California gave the green light to gay marriage. They even took their love to TV, appearing on the Newlywed Game in March 2009. Despite only getting 1 question right, their charm was off the charts. They tried their luck again in 2015 on the Not-So-Newlywed Game, this time getting 2 questions right after 7 years of marriage. In 2010, 2 years into their marriage, Portia changed her name to Portia Lee James DeGeneres, a sweet testament to their union. In 2012, the duo joined forces professionally for a TV movie called The Smart One, with Portia leading the cast and Ellen executive producing. Fast forward to today, 16 years of marriage later, they're still head over heels for each other. Number 15. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are pretty much the powerhouse couple of Hollywood, not just for their insane talent, but also for their enduring relationship. They're a household name around the globe, and somehow they've managed to keep the juicy details of their personal life out of the tabloids. The Queen of Pop met the hip-hop mogul when she was just 18 in 2000, and sparks flew. They started dating the next year. Although everyone kinda knew they were an item, they only officially confirmed it by stepping out together at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2004. As far as secret celebrity weddings go, Beyoncé and Jay-Z absolutely nailed it in 2008. They kept their engagement a secret, only to be seen getting a marriage license in New York that April. They confirmed they got married on April 4th, 2008. Since then, from raising 3 kids to dropping chart toppers like Deja Vu and Drunk in Love, they've been showing us what couple goals really look like. Number 14. Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick are another celeb pair who've really lasted. Sarah, unlike her famous TV character Carrie Bradshaw, hit the jackpot in her love life. She and Matthew Broderick, both actors, have been married for 27 years. They first crossed paths thanks to SJP's brother's theater company back in 1991 and tied the knot in a Lower East Side synagogue in Manhattan in 1997, right before Sex and the City hit the screens on HBO. They usually keep things under wraps, but in a 2013 Harper's Bazaar interview, Sarah shared some sweet details about her and Matthew. "We really care about our family and what we have. I absolutely love our life together, especially that he's the dad to our kids. There's this entire world I adore, thanks to him." Together they have 3 kids, a son named James and twin girls, Marion and Tabitha. In 2020, Matthew shared some thoughts on their lasting relationship during the Quarantined with Bruce show on SiriusXM. He said, "Honestly, I don't know this secret, but I'm super thankful and I love her a lot. It's incredible. I can hardly believe we've been together this long. It really doesn't feel like it." Number 13. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz were meant to be. Back in the 1990s, these two met as teens in New York City, but it wasn't their time yet. Fast forward to 2008, the Girl on Fire and the hit-making producer teamed up for a project, and they've been thick as thieves since. They tied the knot in 2010 and have 2 boys, Egypt and Genesis, together. Alicia's also got the stepmom gig down, with Swizz's kids from before, Kasim KJ Jr., Prince Nasir, and Nicole. They've given us plenty of peeks into their life together over the years. Whether it's swooning over each other on social or showing how talented their kids are, they're all about family vibes. In August 2020, Alicia got named the top certified female R&B artist of the millennium, and Swizz couldn't have been prouder. Then, in October 2021, Alicia dropped Best of Me, a love song for her hubby, and he even starred in the music video with her, celebrating their love and style. And just after Alicia rocked the halftime show with Usher at the 2024 Super Bowl, Swizz was all over Instagram, raving about her performance and the stunning red gown she wore. Number 12. Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan. Gloria and Emilio Estefan have been a thing for over 45 years, which is pretty legendary by Hollywood standards. They first bumped into each other in 1975 at a jam session through mutual friends. She was just 17 and he was 22. Initially, they were just friends. A bit after they first met, they ran into each other at a wedding and decided to start a band for weddings. They had their first date not long after that, and Gloria has always said Emilio was her first and only love. They tied the knot on September 2nd, 1978, and have been living this incredible journey together ever since, both as a married couple and as business partners. They've raised 2 kids and dove headfirst into all sorts of ventures, from opening hotels and restaurants to starting foundations, writing children's books, and making music. They were indeed partners. In June 2023, when Gloria was honored at the Songwriters Hall of Fame, she gave a shout out to Emilio in her speech saying, "After 48 years together, my love for you has only gotten deeper than when we first started this wild, exhilarating, sometimes scary adventure of a life together." Number 11. Brad and George Takei. Brad and George Takei have been together for ages, but they kept their relationship a secret for a long time. They first crossed paths at an LGBTQ+ club in the 80s, where George, the Star Trek legend, made his move by asking Brad, a finance journalist, to join him in marathon training. It wasn't long before they were head over heels for each other. They felt they had to keep their relationship a secret to protect George's career. "We were living together, yet we couldn't share our love with the world," George reflected in a 2016 interview with The Big Issue. "I had to keep quiet about the thing that meant the most to me." It wasn't until 2005 that George came out, revealing his 18-year relationship with Brad. The very next day, after California lifted its ban on gay marriage in May 2008, George announced his plans to marry Brad. They made it official on September 14, 2008. In a 2019 chat with Out in New Jersey, George shared their secret to a lasting relationship. "There's no magic trick," he explained. "It's all about give and take. What starts as lust becomes love, which turns into a deep comfort after 33 years. It's about making those loving compromises." Number 10. Leslie Mann and Judd Apatow. Leslie Mann and Judd Apatow are one of Hollywood's enduring couples, celebrating 27 years together. Their story began when Leslie auditioned for Judd's 1995 movie The Cable Guy. Judd was smitten right away, telling Elle magazine he thought, "That's the future Mrs. Apatow at first glance." He felt a deep connection from the start, saying, "It was instant. I knew it, and that's why it stayed with me." They exchanged vows in a dreamy Hawaiian wedding on June 9, 1997, while Leslie was pregnant with their first child. Their daughter, Maude, now famous from HBO's Euphoria, arrived later that year, and her sister Iris was born in 2002. In a May 2022 interview with Live with Kelly and Ryan, Leslie shared her secret to a long and happy marriage. "I'm so thankful I get to share my life with him. He's genuinely a good guy," she remarked. But then again, it's funny because sometimes I feel like I don't even know him. Like, who is this guy roaming around our house, eating our food, and disappearing into his secret room for who knows what? Number 9. Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber. So, did you hear about one of Hollywood's longest-lasting love stories kicking off at a wedding? Picture this. Model Cindy Crawford and businessman Randy Gerber first crossed paths at her agent's wedding back in the early 90s. Even though they were both involved with other people then, they clicked instantly as friends. Fast forward to when both of their previous relationships ended, and voila, they fell for each other. Cindy and Randy tied the knot in a gorgeous, low-key ceremony in the Bahamas on May 29, 1998. They welcomed their son Presley in 1999 And then their daughter Kaya, who's carving out her own path and modeling just like her mom, came along in 2001. Fast forward to 2017, and Cindy spills the beans on how they've kept the spark alive all these years. She shared with People that it's all about making time for each other, whether that's a simple beach walk or a weekend getaway. Plus, they share a lot of laughs and have a deep respect for each other's views. Even when they disagree, it's all about understanding the other's perspective because that respect is solid. Cindy finds it super intriguing when Randy doesn't see eye to eye with her because she values his opinions enough to really listen, and he feels the same about hers. Number 8. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have been married for over 18 years now, which is like forever in Hollywood years. Despite being in the limelight with their successful careers, they somehow managed to keep their personal life a secret. But whenever they share a glimpse of their life together on social media or hit up a red carpet event side by side, it's obvious they're totally meant for each other. Having a bit of romance definitely doesn't hurt in keeping a marriage lively, and Keith is a pro at stirring up the romance vibes. Imagine having your significant other write a song about you. Pretty sweet, right? In a chat with iNews, Keith spilled that his 2018 track Gemini is all about Nicole, and yep, she's all for it. According to him, the song was born when his co-writer, Julia Michaels, asked him to describe Nicole, and that's what he came up with. Nicole dished to Harper's Bazaar about their recipe for a happy marriage, making sure they always carve out time for each other. She mentioned that when she's not working, she's all in with her family, saying that she and Keith know how to switch off from the world because they've built a really chill, simple life for themselves in Nashville. They keep things low-key and nourishing, and that seems to be their magic formula. Number 7. Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. It's kind of easy to overlook that Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem are rocking one of Hollywood's most solid marriages. They keep things super low-key, barely ever chatting about their relationship in interviews, and staying away from flaunting their love life on social media. Yet, this duo, who are parents to 2, have been happily married for almost 2 decades, and they also get on really well professionally. They've shined together in a bunch of acclaimed films. In February 2022, they etched their names into Hollywood lore when they became the 6th married duo to snag Academy Award nominations in the acting categories in the same year. Javier for Best Actor in Being the Ricardos, and Penelope for her performance in Parallel Mothers. Javier shared with The Wrap that the nomination day was a beautiful day at home for them. Picture this, both of them squeezing onto the same couch, overwhelmed with things to pay attention to. He said it felt extraordinary to share such a special moment with his wife. According to him, it's one thing to receive an accolade, but it's another level of amazing to celebrate that with your partner, especially when it's for something as impactful as her role in Parallel Mothers. Number 6. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt might not team up on the big screen too often, just one movie together so far, but their off-screen love story is totally movie-worthy. They've been going strong for 13 years, married for 12, and it seems like they're loving every second together even more as time goes on. The spark was instant for Emily and John when they first crossed paths at a restaurant back in 2008. Not too long after that, they found themselves in a pretty unconventional first date at a shooting range. John popped the question in Los Angeles less than a year into dating, in what turned out to be a casual yet tear-filled proposal that even had their friends reaching for tissues. They tied the knot in a cozy ceremony at George Clooney's Lake Como estate on July 10, 2010, with Emily looking stunning in a Marchesa gown. Even someone as chic as the star of The Devil Wears Prada can have a little wedding day mishap. Emily's was a spray tan gone wrong, something she laughed about with James Corden on The Late Show. Fast forward to 2019, Emily snagged the Screen Actors Guild Award for her role in A Quiet Place, and her acceptance speech was as heartfelt as it gets, full of love and praise for her husband and co-star. Number 5. Salma Hayek and Francois-Henri Pinault. Hayek and Pinault first bumped into each other back in 2006 at a bash in Venice's Palazzo Grassi, a fancy 18th century place owned by Pinel's folks, as People magazine tells it. But Hayek's been pretty quiet about the whole meeting story. They tied the knot at a Paris courthouse on Valentine's Day in 2009, then threw a bigger wedding bash in Venice 2 months later. It was round 2 for Pinel, and the first go for his Hollywood sweetheart, who admitted she needed a bit of nudging to make the leap. Despite that, she's had to deal with folks who say she only married Pinel for his hefty bank account. Fast forward to 2018, 9 years after they first said I do, and they're renewing their vows in Bora Bora, all thanks to a surprise from Pinel. Before the wedding, they welcomed their daughter, Valentina Paloma, into the world in September 2007. Number 4. Mariska Hargitay and Peter Herman. Mariska Hargitay, the star we all love as Olivia Benson, literally found her hubby on the set of Law & Order SVU. Peter Herman came on board as a guest star back in 2002, and sparks flew right off the bat. Chatting on the Drew Barrymore show, Mariska shared that the moment she saw him, she was like, "Who's this Clark Gable Superman-like dude that I've got to marry ASAP?" Turns out her gut feeling was spot on. They tied the knot on August 28, 2004 in Santa Barbara, California. Then they welcomed their son in 2006 and adopted 2 more kids in 2011, just 4 months apart. Fast forward to June 2019, and Peter's spilling that laughter is their secret sauce for a happy marriage. Talking to people, he said, "I never thought my life would be filled with so much laughter. Not just the laughs, but how Mariska radiates joy and laughter in everything she does." Number 3. Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick. Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick's love story is like something straight out of a Hollywood, lasting a solid 36 years. Their first encounter was pretty cinematic, too. Back in 1978, Kevin was doing his thing at an off-Broadway play in New York City, where a fan and her brother came up to him. The fan was Kyra Sedgwick. They really got to know each other in 1987 on the set of Lemon Sky, and by the year's end, they decided to get hitched. They tied the knot on September 4th, 1988, and have since raised 2 kids, all while teaming up for various film and TV projects. Celebrating their 35th anniversary in 2023, they shared their marriage mantra with people, being each other's cheerleader and fan through thick and thin. Kevin loves that even a simple midnight stroll, just chatting away with Kyra, is still the best part of his day. Number 2. Oprah and Stedman Graham. Oprah and longtime love Stedman Graham have been an item for almost 4 decades now. They first locked eyes in 1986, the same year the Oprah Winfrey Show hit the airwaves. Not long after they started dating, Stedman popped up as a surprise guest on her show in 1987. Fast forward to 1992, and the pair were talking about marriage after announcing their engagement. However, a walk down the aisle just wasn't in the cards for them. Despite the shift in plans, Oprah and Stedman have stayed thick as thieves. They're in the same boat as Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, believing that skipping the marriage part was the best move for them. Oprah once mused to Vogue about what might have happened if they had tied the knot, saying, "The only time I brought it up was when I said to Stedman, what would have happened if we had actually gotten married? And the answer is, we wouldn't be together. We would not have stayed together because marriage requires a different way of being in this world." Number 1. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Although not married, this next couple is one of the longest-lasting relationships in Hollywood. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn have been a couple since 1983, even though they never officially tied the knot. They first met on a movie set in 1968, but didn't start dating until 15 years later because of their age difference and worries about dating someone from Hollywood. They've been together ever since they reconnected during an audition. They've raised a mixed family together. Kurt's son Boston from his previous marriage, Goldie's kids Oliver and Kate Hudson from hers, and together they had Wyatt in 1986. They think one of the secrets to their long relationship is actually not getting married. Even though there were rumors they got married in 1989, those weren't true. When asked about the choice to forego swapping vows on CNN in 2023, Goldie replied, "Why should we get married? Isn't that a better question? I like the idea that I can wake up in the morning and make decisions every day if I want to be here. Ultimately, staying independent with independent thinking is important, so you can hold on to yourself and you're going to actually have that feeling." And there you have it. the top 20 longest Hollywood marriages that have captivated our hearts and inspired true romance beyond the silver screen. These couples have shown us that love can flourish, even in the spotlight. If you're inspired by these stories of love and commitment, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of love. Who knows? The next great love story could be just around the corner. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.